everyone! So I'm back with what I hope will be the first of 2 heritage layouts for this month. We'll see how we go, but we're definitely going to have this one up. This is the photo I'm going to be scrapbooking. This is my great-grandmother and her brother. And you can tell from like old-timey photographs that she moved a little bit, but I kind of love that about this. And I have a very little bit of journaling to do on this page, not a lot. I know who the people are and I know the date that the photos were taken. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of put that into the layout. But I really love their clothes. Look at she's this like hair bow in her hair. It's so cute. And his little bow tie. Oh my gosh. And I see a lot of my family in my great-grandmother's brother. Like, I swear my son has those ears. I'm telling you, he has those ears. Anyway, so I'm going to scrapbook this photo today, and I am going to be using the Pink Paisley Collection Auburn Lane. I have so much of this collection, so I have been really trying to kind of dig into my stash because I really want to try to get some of it used up. We're doing a spending freeze in the Rediscover Your Stash Facebook group, so I'm not buying anything right now, so I'm really trying hard to like use up. So when I was deciding what collection I wanted to scrapbook with this photo, I decided I'd pull out my Auburn Lane. And when I found it, I realized so much of it. Oh, if you guys watched my video on Wednesday when I was like pulling out the midnight, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never cut into a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. That's not true in this case, but like I have 3 6 by 8 paper pads from Auburn Lane, and I have like 3 sticker sheets. So much stuff. So I'm definitely going to use it for this layout, and then I think I might keep it out and use it for the other heritage layout that I have planned for later on this month, or my next heritage layout after, in case I don't get this one up, in case I don't get the next one up till February. Just see how that goes. Anyway, so I grabbed a big doily. This is a big 8-inch doily. And apparently I had 2, but we'd only need 1. And then another thing I thought I'd do is, I got a lot of comments last week after I used my Kiwi Lane templates. And I said how I use Kiwi Lane templates, but I don't use them the way they're supposed to be used. So I thought it would be fun to show you another way you can use your Kiwi Lane template. So I pulled one out. This is the Madison Avenue border template, and this is the 3rd one, so this is 3A. That's the one I'm going to be using. I'm just going to be using this one, but I'm going to use it in kind of really different ways. So, because like I said in the video from last Wednesday, from that Chanel Sketches Reimagined video, I don't use them the way you're supposed to. So, this will just be another new way you can use them. All right, so I'm going to get going and start scrapbooking, and we'll see how this turns out. Bye. So you can just go ahead and ignore most of that because this video is going to end up going up like 2 weeks after I did the layout and after I did this voiceover. It kept getting bumped in my schedule because other things were coming in, and so our heritage video for this month is just going to be 1. I'm sorry, and it is going up later. So, but I'm using the same products. I'm starting with this Kiwi Lane template. I'm using a pencil to trace it onto my pattern paper, and then I'm just making sure my borders are going to be large enough that I can go ahead and stitch them. So what I did was I traced the Kiwi Lane template, and then I hand stitched a border across the bottom and across the top. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pick 2 pattern papers, and I'm going to use those to add even more detail to those borders with the Kiwi Lane templates. I decided to go with this darker burgundy color, and I want my borders that I'm going to cut now to be super straight. So I'm using just a tad bit of tape runner on the back of the template just to keep it stationary while I trace it. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fussy cut these borders. And then what I can do is I can place them right underneath my stitched pieces, and they're going to line up perfectly, which is so cool, and it gives the layout a really, really, really different feel to it. It's kind of hard to describe. You'll see it in the close-ups at the end, but I love how this turned out. And again, this is a great technique. If you have Kiwi lame templates, this is a really fun thing you can do with them. It gives you this really nice shape that you can use for hand stitching, and then you can add on another pattern and you get really cute decorative edges for the top and bottom of your page. So I'm just lining up that the paper that I cut now with the Kiwi Lane template that I stitched, and you can see how like perfectly it's gonna match up. One of the very cool things about Kiwi Lane templates. So I'm putting a strip at the top, a strip at the bottom, and then I'm gonna put the bulk of my layout into that middle space. And yeah, do you see how cool that top and bottom is? Like, you can't really tell if it's the pink paper that's cut and stitched or if it's the burgundy paper that's cut and stitched, and it makes for a really kind of neat look on your scrapbook page. And I love Kiwi Lane templates. They're awesome. Okay, so next up, I'm going to put this really large doily in the middle of my page, and then I'm going to go ahead and add some of this mustardy color paper on the back of my photo. I want to double matte my photo. Someone just left me a comment not that long ago asking how I do my heritage photos. So while I go ahead and kind of get some of the elements of my layout onto the page, I'll let you watch that and I'll explain to you how I do my heritage photos. So the way that I do them is incredibly easy. It doesn't require any kind of special equipment. What I do is that I have an iPhone 8 Plus. I take the photo and I put it into some I took the original photo, I put it into some diffused natural light, which you can get just by looking at where the sun is during the day, and you want to go just off where the sun is. And then I make sure I don't have any glares or anything going on my page, and then I get as close as I can with my iPhone 8 Plus, and I just snap a picture. Once I have a picture that I think is clear and not at all, like there's no glare, I got the colors right, then I pull it into Photoshop, and I just pull it into Photoshop Express, again, on my phone, and then I just see if it needs a little more light. I play around with it a little bit to see if there's anything I can do that's going to enhance the photo, so that I can then print it at a 4x6 and it will look as crisp and as clear as I can make it. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to be crisp and clear. These are photos, especially this one, which is the original photo for this is well over 100 years old. But I do the best I can, and I can usually get a pretty good print from that, doing it that way. And then all I do is I save those photos. So I send them through email or message them to all of my brother, all of my sisters, my maternal aunt, and I just send them all to them so that it's in multiple places. You could upload it to the cloud. That would keep it safe. You could burn them, you could put them on a USB drive. I was going to say burn them to a CD, but that doesn't seem to be a really good option these days. But yeah, USB drive, or just, hang on to them that way. And so that's how I kind of digitize them myself. I did them myself. I didn't have money to pay someone else to do it, but I knew that I wanted to have them in some respect saved. So that was kind of my workaround as to what I did, and I think that it works really, really well. So I've gone ahead now and I've added my journaling, and I've added some bits and pieces from this Auburn Lane collection. So what I did was I put all my packages together and then I sifted through the loose pieces. The paper that was already cut into, things that were already cut out, things that were the last bits of a package of embellishments, and I want to use up those first. Those ones that are in the collection but just kind of floating around the collection. This layout also goes really, really well with Christy's Beautiful Life ABC Challenge, which is to the idea of how you use collections, whether you mix them up, do you add them all together. I keep mine all together in one spot, and I also tend to scrapbook all one collection all together. I don't tend to mix them up. The only exception to that is if I have loose papers or I want to feature a specific stamp set or my Killikit this month, which the Killikit with Style will be back February 1st if that's a series that you enjoy watching. We have a whole group of well, they're not new kit killers, but they're coming in with new kits. So I hope you'll watch that. And the kit share will be up tomorrow. So I'm just adding all these little bits and pieces. I'm using flowers. These are a lot of just those leftovers from other projects, fussy cut flowers and things like that that I want to try to kind of get used up. And like I said at the beginning, I have so much Auburn Lane. It was a favorite collection of mine. It was part of 2 design team packages that I received, and then I bought all of it. So, yeah, so I have lots and lots of Auburn Lane. So you can go ahead and just watch me here. I'm just flicking through these die cuts, getting them positioned where I want them. And creating really just pretty clusters. So my view on clusters is a little anagram, I guess is what it's called. How does it go? Let's make some clusters. So what that means is we start with our large pieces, we put those down first. We put our medium-sized pieces down next on top of our large pieces. So large, medium, let's make some. S for small, so our smallest pieces for our clusters. And then we want confetti. We want little bits and pieces that kind of just trickle in and out and around our clusters. In this case, I'm using some puffy stickers in the shape of cute little buttons. And those are going to be my confetti. So when you're creating clusters and you're a little lost, just say, Sarah says, let's make some clusters. Let's make some clusters. Large, medium, small confetti. And your clusters will always look lovely, but you can't skip a step. You got to get it. You got to get the large, the medium, the small, and the confetti. And that's how you get really, really nicely balanced and fun clusters. Okay. This layout is now done. I'm just going to trim off the edges at the top and the bottom of my layout. And now we're going to do some close-ups. Really? Really, Sophie? Really? We're going to do some close-ups so you can see all the little bits and pieces in my journaling. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to try super duper hard to get 2 heritage layouts up for you next month. I have one already planned, I think. Yeah, right? And then we're going to have another one. So, all right. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.